Noel Clarke arrested on suspicion of rape. So most of you guys know about this story. This, I think if I'm not mistaken, before reading the article, the original allegations may have been from a couple of years ago. They mostly stem from women who worked with Noel Clarke. I think there was one lady in particular who really kind of, her allegation was really disgusting and probably ended him before anything started with everybody else. And that was another actress who kind of auditioned for something that Noel Clarke was directing, and she basically said in the audition he made her try and take her clothes off. He was very sexually suggestive, very handsy. And then the other thing I thought that really fucked him up was that one of the women that he allegedly may have touched up or may have sexually assaulted was somebody that worked in hair and makeup and that sort of thing. And usually those people are people that work across various different shows, right? The hair and makeup production people, and they're very integral to the show's runnings. So whenever those type of people come out, in my experience, from knowing what I know about the entertainment industry, if you hear somebody from the hair and makeup, costume, whatever, complaining or saying something bad about somebody, that's usually a good indication that what they're saying is true, because they see everything. So if you hear somebody, so if you hear a friend tell you, oh yeah, someone I know who works in hair and makeup said X, Y, and Z is a dickhead, believe that person, because those people see all the things. So as soon as I heard one of the victims was someone that worked in hair and makeup, that worked in costume, I was like, okay, it's a wrap for Noel Clarke. He did try and fight it. He said it wasn't true. I think he went on ZZ Mills's show to fight for his case and to say it wasn't true. And I think that was a terrible interview. That didn't make him sound great. Even though ZZ Mills wasn't the greatest interviewer in general, I think he himself did a really bad job and didn't come across as believable. If anything, he came across very combative, very arrogant, almost a bit of a bully in terms of how he was kind of going on. And you could kind of see how, you immediately sort of like felt bad for the victims when you listen to him speak on ZZ Mills show. And I think he's done some other bits and bobs where he's been trying to fight for his life. I think and then obviously as the fallout for that, a show that he did with a show he had in production with Ashley Waters, Asher D from So Solid, formerly of So Solid, who's now a prominent actor. I'm pretty sure that show got cancelled, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of things went wrong for him. I also think his BAFTA award or something got taken away from him or something like that. Basically, his life has been in shambles ever since. But he's been maintaining his innocence ever since. But this is obviously not going to look good when it comes to fighting for your innocence. Actor Noel Clarke has been arrested on suspicion of attempted rape, exposure, and sexual assault by touching, according to reports. The Doctor Who and Kidulthood star has questioned by detectives on Tuesday and bail pending further inquiries. So he's out on bail right now. The Metropolitan Police said the arrest related to a sexual offence in which they alleged to have taken place in 2007 in London against a woman in her 20s. Oh yeah, I remember. That's the other thing that was really horrible too. There was an article from The Guardian that I remember reading. That had like an account from like 7 women or 10, let's say 10, I don't know how much it was. There was a lot of women, and they each gave an account of what happened when they encountered, when they had suffered at the hands of Noel Clarke in terms of sexual abuse and shit. And each one was harrowing. Each one was horrible. Each one was fucking horrible. So that obviously buried him too, because he couldn't counter them. I think he just said they're all lying. It's like, brother, I don't think 7 women who don't know each other across, a huge span of time are all colluding to bring you down, bro. So I don't think it works like that. According to the Sun newspaper, Clarke, 50, arrived at Islington Police Station, North London, shortly after midday by appointment, accompanied by his wife and his lawyer. You see what I mean? Again, I always tell you guys this. Why is it, right? I've never seen a prominent person who's accused of rape or anything involving women who's ever arrived to court or a police station, whatever, questioning, and they've arrived alone. The only person I've seen it happen to recently is Thomas Partey. I'll get onto that probably later. He's been the only person prominently that I've seen, a prominent person in culture who's been, or entertainment industry, whatever, who's been accused of such a heinous crime, who's arrived to court by himself. Because the only time I've seen Thomas Partey arrive in court, it's just him solo dolo with his lawyer. But every other guy, prominent person, there's always a woman standing by their side. And it's really odd because you hear a lot of women say one of the big red flags, a thing they could never do is be with a guy that's assaulted women, whether it's been physically or sexually, a guy that's touched kids, a guy that's been bad to kids. I mean, all that sort of stuff. You hear women say that, that's their red line. If you do that, you're out. But in real life, there's many women out there who stand by and defend men who've been accused of this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. These are all accusations. He's innocent until proven guilty. I get it. But very rarely do you see women like, okay, like the only prominent example I could think of is maybe like Melinda Gates, right? Bill Gates' ex-wife. As soon as those rumors or the story came out about Bill Gates in connection with Epstein, she got divorced from him like ASAP. You know what I mean? She ran away. You know what I mean? She couldn't get away faster from Bill Gates. And every time she's interviewed and spoken and asked to speak on a situation, she's not very nice about him. Do you know what I mean? She makes it clear to know that I don't know nothing about that guy. I don't want him in my life. I purposely left because of this. He has to answer those questions. Fuck that guy forever, type of thing. You know what I mean? She hates him so much she's even giving away most of her wealth. You know what I mean? She hates the guy so much she's even giving away most of her wealth to charity and shit, which they kind of, you know, I guess earn together when they're together and stuff. But very rarely do you hear of women that don't stick with their guys. It's just odd. I don't really understand why, but I guess it's harder said than done, right? When these allegations come out, they usually come out of the blue. You've got kids and stuff, you know. If Noel Clarke is 50, that lady he's married is probably what, maybe let's say the youngest going to be late 30s. You've been with him for a long time. You've got kids. You got a house together. So maybe it's a lot harder to leave than said to be done. But like just the image of you going to court with him or going to a police station room, it looks a bit funny, isn't it? When all these women have accused him of rape and all this stuff and assault and abuse and harassment allegedly, and you're out here standing side by side with him as he walks into the police station to answer these questions. That's a strong ass woman, man. Strong ass woman. BBC News have approached Clarke for a representative for a response. The Sun said the actor was arrested and questioned by detectives on Metropolitan's Central Specialist Crime Command. A Met spokesperson said a man in his 50s was arrested on suspicion of attempted rape, exposure, and sexual assault by touching on Tuesday, the 10th of February. He was interviewed by detectives. This arrest relates to a sexual offence which alleged to have taken place in 2007 in London against a woman in her 20s. The man was also interviewed in relation to a voyeurism allegation for which he was previously arrested in September 2025. This relates to an offence allegedly committed in 2013 and addressed in London against a woman in her 20s. The man was bailed and pending a further inquiries, but the Met's investigation continues. I actually want to double check. Is that article still away? Okay, maybe this is the one. The Guardian journalists, Syrian Kale and Lucy Osborne have been recognised for their investigation covering the accusations of Noel Clarke. So I think this is the one. Yeah, this has to be the one. 4 months old, right? Is this the one? No, this is not the one. This is not the one. I don't think that's the one. Which one is it? Landmark court ruling. There was a case where they said they had all of them. They had every single accusation. Is it this one from August? Inside the trial, Clarke loses case against Garden. Knocker came down to favour. Easily got over the. Okay, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. It's from 4 years ago. Yo, time goes by so quickly. Look at that. Sexual predator actor Noel Clarke accused of groping, harassment and bullying by 20 women. Could you imagine you've been accused of, what's that, groping, sexual harassment and bullying by 20 women, and your wife still stands by you in court? That's a good woman, man. That's a fucking good woman. On God, that is a good fucking woman. Imagine standing by someone like that. Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine? Like all of these people, how many, and all the accounts here, right? All the accounts are there, yeah. I think that's the one lady that everyone was going crazy about. This one here, I think. Let me just reread this one because I think this is one of the worst ones actually. This Gianna lady, right? Yeah, this is the one. So, prolific, influential filmmaker. Clarke is one of the most prolific actors and filmmakers in the UK. Clarke writes, executive produces and stars alongside Ashley Waters in Bulletproof, one of Sky's biggest shows. Series 4 is in pre-production. Yeah, I think that's a show that got cancelled. So Ashley Waters must fucking hate him, man, because that show was really fucking good, and his fucking nonsense got the show cancelled. So I'm sure Ashley Waters isn't keep writing him in the Christmas letters. His company Unstoppable Film and Television was produced more than 10 films. Only this week, Clarke has been starring in ITV's new flagship primary drama, The Viewpoint. Gianna Powell worked with Clarke as a producer between September 2014 and March 2017, producing Brotherhood. She told The Guardian that Clarke would constantly harass her, on one occasion telling her that when he hired her, he had planned to fuck her and fire her before deciding to keep her on. She also alleges that Clarke would brag about storing sexual explicit pictures and videos on his hard drive, including footage he once told her that he had secretly filmed during a naked auditions. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Honestly, Noel Clarke, man. Noel Clarke was moving fucking mad. Powell says Clarke once showed her a secretly recorded video on one such audition with Joanna James. That's the lady here, Joanna James. an actor in Brotherhood. Cole told 4 people about Clarke's alleged secret filming, all of whom confirmed the conversations in The Guardian. They included James, her friend, whom she told about the incident in the winter of 2017 in a pub in South London. The naked audition had taken place more than 4 years previously for the film Legacy. Powell was able to describe the exact haircut James had, and her hair, and usually long and blonde, but after her hair disaster, she had cropped it short and returned to a natural brown. Could you imagine, like, this is an exploitation at its finest, isn't it? Because only an actor could do this. Only an actor would actually think it's a good idea, or would think it's perfectly okay to do a naked audition, because of the desperation involved, right? Because the jobs are so scarce, everyone's competing for the same roles, the level of competition is incredibly fucking high, right? You're just wanting to get whatever advantage that you can get to get you the job, whatever you can do above and beyond that might make you, you know, that might make your audition sit in the memory of the fucking producer more, that might guarantee that you get picked, you're gonna do. And he exploited that. You know, he exploited that and made this girl do a naked audition for a film that didn't require a naked fucking audition. And then recorded the footage and then stored it on his own private hard drive to rewatch and then showed other people. No, Clarke, you're moving mad. James recalls Clarke had talked her into auditioning for the role. She had been hesitant. She was only 23 and fresh out of drama school, but Clarke persuaded her, explaining that the naked audition wouldn't be filmed. An email from the agent confirmed this agreement. Oh my god. So he secretly filmed it too. He didn't even, he told her it wasn't going to be filmed. Honestly, man, the exploitation of actors is fucking crazy, isn't it? I was told 100% it was not going to be on camera, James says. As she understood, the naked audition was purely to check that she could do a scene and wasn't to bottle it in the day. There's other ways that they can do that, right? Surely they don't need to have, nah, I don't even think that makes any sense. I very much doubt if you're an actor and you need to do a naked audition that you have to do it alone with the guy in the room to, you know what I mean? I'm sure they'll usually have somebody else in there with you, you know what I mean? Like, or at the very least, like, imagine if you had to do a naked audition, maybe you might be required to take your top off, maybe, just to kind of see if how comfortable you are, you know, with the but then still, I wouldn't think that would be that shouldn't even be necessary. It's fucking nonsense. Jesus Christ, the audition was mortifying. James recalls, and afterwards she pulled out the running of the role. She didn't want to be her first acting job to be nude. The Guardian spoke to 2 friends of Powell and James who were also present in the pub that told and recalled the emotional exchange. I was so upset. Now years later, I still cry when I talk about it. Clarke denies ever covertly filming naked auditions or sharing such footage with Powell. A casting director who was present at James' audition says there was absolutely no way Clarke would have covertly filmed it, even without her knowledge. He's always been a good guy, she says. Oh, I'd love to know who that person is. The Guardian also contacted others who said that Clarke would either decline to comment or spoke positively of him. They include a makeup artist who said that they had a really, really great relationship working with Noel Clarke. So yeah, those are some of the allegations out there about him, you know. 20 women came with allegations, 20 women in this article alone from The Guardian. God damn it, Clarke. Clarke was found famed playing Mickey Smith in Doctor Who between 2005 and 2010, but his screen career collapsed in 2021 after The Guardian published accounts from several women who had worked with him alleging sexual misconduct, which he denied. In August, Clarke lost his eyeball case against The Guardian after he sued the newspaper publisher. In September, the High Court judge ruled that Clarke must pay at least $3 million to The Guardian's publisher's legal costs. Jesus Christ, man. They write one of the most scathing articles ever from 20 different women who are accusing you of fucking groping, harassment and bullying. You think it's false. You think this is all contrived to take you down. You take them to court and then they win, and then you have to pay the legal costs of $3 million plus. Oof. Clarke, who represented himself at the hearing, of course he did, told the court that he thought the Guardian's legal costs were excessive and should be reduced, but he is likely to have to pay even more in total after the Guardian told the court that the conservative estimate of the total cost was $6 million, or £6 million, sorry. So yeah, Noel Clarke's life is pretty much fucked at the moment. Noel Clarke's life is pretty much fucked at the moment.